You don't need to know. You don't care about this. Okay. I want to talk about the flow of the summer, and I want to talk about the what's called the momentum funnel. This is really important for I'm going to teach this, but I'm going to teach it in two ways. One is how the summer flows, and then the second part of this is how you're for working with reps. And this is called the momentum funnel. And let's see if I have. You don't have it in your handouts, so I apologize for that, but the momentum funnel is a 4-week process, and the way that I think about that is over the summertime. I'll relate it to May through August for the summer, but also for reps. So this is called a momentum funnel, and the idea is that as time goes on, the energy you put in decreases, or the effort you put in decreases, while the result increases. So it's kind of like the inverted triangles here. But I'm not the artist, so I'm not going to use them up here. But I'm just going to explain that we've got May, we've got June, we've got July, and August. So these are the 4 months of the summer, and I know every region breaks a little bit differently, but the idea is that in May, you're putting in the maximum amount of effort in May. And basically, you're pulling back the slingshot. And as an assistant manager, it's important to realize that you're putting in maximum amount of effort in May, but your result, and we're just, for lack of a better term, we're just going to say zero result. Now, you'll have some sales and some offices get off to a good start, but in general, you're putting in a ton of energy and you're getting nothing in return. At this point in May, we're just going to be pulling back the slingshot. So realize that you're going to be putting in a ton of hours. You're going to be early mornings, like 6 a.m. flyering and handing out business cards on college campuses for finals. You're going to be late at night at movie theaters handing out flyers. You're going to be calling PRs all day. You're going to be working your tail off nonstop, and at the end of the night, you're going to hit the pillow and you're just going to be out like a light. You're going to be exhausted with how much you're working. And then at the end of the week, your paycheck is going to be basically the commissions you made off your sales that week. That's what your paycheck will be. And you have to realize that's part of the process, because what sometimes assistant managers, especially new assistant managers, they don't realize that you've got to put in the effort to get the result later. So you're investing your time, and it will even out. In fact, obviously it's inverted because we make more in vector than the normal person for what we do for our time spent, because we're paid based off our value, not our time. So realize that as an assistant manager, you're not paid off your time, you're paid off your value. And the value that you put in with May is going to earn you the big paychecks in June, July, and August. Also realize that you are an executive. You are a CEO of your own sales business, but you are on the board of directors of your office. You are a stock owner. You're a stockholder and you're an owner of your individual organization. So as an assistant manager, you're paid a percentage of your office sales. So that means that you own that office. Everything that you do influences the office sales, influences your paycheck, and influences your peers' paychecks. So if you're an assistant manager and you want to work more, work harder, because you influence your own paycheck. If you want to have bigger paychecks, well, help your office recruit a ton of people, because the more you recruit, the more you sell, the bigger your paycheck is. So you really have an intense, role, or an intense, role in your office and influence in your office. So if you were on the board of directors for a Fortune 500 company, how much effort would you put in? Right? If you were on the board for Google or Apple, and you had to sit at that conference table, and you were in charge, you were one of the owners of those big companies, how would you wake up every day? Would you take breaks during the day, and would you be on Facebook all day, checking people's posts? Would you be looking at sales reports to see how everybody else is doing? Or would you be working your tail off to build up your company? And that's the way you have to go into this summer, that you are an owner of your business, and everything that happens in your office is a reflection of you. So again, in May, it's maximum effort and zero return. It's not going to be zero, but assume zero. Any return that you get is icing on the cake, and it should be a surprise. In June, you're still putting in a ton of effort. Maybe not as much as May, but you're putting in a ton of effort. but a little bit less, and you're getting some return. So in June, you get some return. You get some solid sales, and again, some offices might be bigger than others, but in general, you'll get some return. You'll be like, okay, cool, I'm seeing and reaping the rewards of my hard work. In July, you're putting in some good effort, but for most of you in July, you have SC2 push, and your manager is going to say, get out of my office, get your sample kit out, and go sell, right? So you're probably only going to be in the office for half the month, and the rest of the month, you're going to be out doing demos. So you're putting in some effort, mostly in the front end of the month, and then you're getting a ton of return. Because the return is all of your reps that you've been recruiting over the past 2 months are now selling big, and you're reaping the rewards from that. You're not even going to be in the office most of the time, and you're still going to be getting paychecks off the office. So now that's when you start seeing the return on your investment from May and June. And then in August, your manager, if your manager doesn't kick you out of the office and say, just go sell, go do demos and get out of my face, because they're going to be sick of you by that point. If they don't say that, then there's something wrong with your organization. So in August, you're going to be putting in very little effort, because you're going to be mostly just selling and leading by example with sales, and you're going to get maximum return because you're still getting paid off the office and you're getting paid big off of your sales. So realize that there's an inverse relationship with your effort versus your income. And branch managers, I know we have a bunch of branches, it's a very similar mentality. Brie Galarza, one of the top branches in the nation last year, it was funny because in August, she was out doing demos, she was leading by example, with sales with her team. And her team was selling, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a week for her branch. And she's like, this is like, what do I do with my time? They're all selling, and she had so much, time on her hands because she put in all the effort in the beginning of the summer. Now realize this is the same thing with a rep who's just starting back up, or somebody who might not have momentum. So let's say a new rep, this is the conversation of week one. This is the philosophy of under-promising and over-delivering. It's very, very important as an assistant manager to under-promise and over-deliver. So in week one, you're putting in your maximum amount of effort. You're phoning for 2-3 hours a day, building up your schedule and your foundation, and you might get zero return. And then you go through the process of, this is week one, this is week 2, this is week 3, this is week 4. And this is a great PC or conversation to have with a new rep or somebody who might be struggling, to get them excited about committing to that 4-week process. Because we know if somebody commits to 4 weeks of hard work as a Cutco sales rep, they're going to see the benefits, and it's going to click. Too many reps give up on themselves or quit before they see the